Hello everyone, Railgan here with a ZvP that I played against parting on the North American ladder. It was one of the first days of the release of the new maps at the very beginning of the season. Parting decided to go for the new carriers in this game against me. We're going to have a look at how the carrier performs and decide whether it's a good unit or a bad unit, and decide whether parting played well or not. I opened with a 13-12 on Automaton LE because I think this is harder to wall off than usual, but I don't know. I think if you walls off like this, it's actually not harder to wall off than on other maps. Parting, however, decided to not go for a scout. I didn't actually know that this is parting when I started the game, and it was one of the first games, so I played a bit of a cheesy opener with my 8 pool, or rather 13-12 into 8 links, sorry. I go for the pylon right at the start, try to kill as many probes as I can, and I felt like the defense wasn't that good. Like, he lost a lot of probes, but he did manage to at least save the game. Wasn't really, I still didn't know that it's parting at this point, but I was live streaming the game, and eventually somebody was like, "Oh, Railgan, you're playing parting!" I was like, well, I don't know if this is parting. And then I, after the game, checked again and saw a parting. I was very, very angry while he was looking at the replay of this game, so I knew that it was in fact parting that I played. I'm just droning up at home. I'm getting the Roach Warren for safety. I got Spore Crawler at every base. Parting opened with a Stargate into another Stargate into some more gateways, into eventually taking that third base. He did throw down a fast fleet beacon, and because of all of his air units that he built, namely a couple of Phoenix that I keep scouting immediately, I always kind of knew what was going on. So the Phoenix do kill a couple of drones, but I wasn't really too worried. I built a couple roaches and links to try and push across the map, because I saw that he used up all the Phoenix energy. I was also poking a little bit of fun at him there with my Mass Phoenix hack comment. I just wanted to know how he would respond, but yeah. I'm going in on his base right here with this Roach Link push. I needed the Roaches for safety anyway, so I just pushed across the map and decided to do some damage. At home, I'm getting a 4th base, an evolution chamber, and I saw that he is in fact going for carriers. Him having a Stargate at the front of his base always allows me to scout what he is doing pretty easily. So I'm not really worried about the Oracle. I built that Spore there because I thought the Oracle was gonna snipe the drone. And all I did was saturate my 3 bases, put on a little bit of aggression. Units lost tap in parting's favor. But I was also mining quite a bit more, so I think we are pretty okay. I'm going for both of the Hydralisk upgrades, the Carapace and the missile attack, of course, as well as the range and the Hydralisk speed upgrade. While I'm preparing for my push across the map, I didn't actually know how the new carrier was going to perform. I'm going to speed things up a little bit so we can actually get to the big clash. While we're listening to that soothing jazz of the StarCraft soundtrack. But yeah, I mean, eventually I'm close to maxing out. I'm at 184 out of 192 supply right now. I still have a couple of roaches. I turned them into Ravagers to kill off both the force fields and to perhaps even bile the carriers. Biling carriers is actually a pretty decent thing if you can get enough biles out. He does have the Phoenix though, which makes me feel a little bit scared. At home, Infestation Pit and +2/+2 as my follow-up. I was trying to bile the interceptors. I didn't know if that was gonna work, but I figured, hey, might as well give it a go. I'm pushing into his 3rd base here, and you can tell that he has a lot of carriers, and we're going to see how this fight goes right now. So my Hydralisks are focusing down the interceptors. I have a couple roaches and Ravagers that are dealing with his Zealots as well. I'm biling in on top of his units, and what we are noticing is that I killed every single interceptor. He actually has a damage upgrade advantage. He has a total of, let me see, 10 carriers. But my Hydralisk army is actually pushing through. And it's pushing through hard enough that I can go straight into his natural right here. He only has 2 Stargates. He has a mothership on the way, so if the mothership pops out, then he can kind of cloak his units, which is a bit of an issue for me. But I'm going in, sniping the carriers. The mothership is not in position and he's losing a lot of the carriers and just GG's out without even trying. Probably very frustrated at this point at his carriers being overrun, which would have never happened in the old patch, right? In the old patch, the carriers would have slammed my Hydra. So let's have a look right now. Parting went for a double Stargate build. He did spend his money well. He's behind a little bit economically. His cannons right here are nice to protect him from Ling Bane run-bys. Sadly, I didn't go for any of those. Like, if I tried to drop anything, I think they would have... I don't know, maybe I could have flown above. I don't know where the wall actually is. The edge of the maps. It's probably closer than it looks like. I can probably only fly till here. But yeah, what he didn't have was, of course, Storm. Like, if he storms my Hydras, the interceptors are a lot more effective, or even a couple Archon shots could have helped a lot, or some charge slots. But he was in a bit of a rough spot, so I didn't get any of those out. What also happened was that the interceptors, they now launch one at a time, so my Hydras can do a decent bit of damage while the interceptors are still launching. They were also going for the roaches at the start and not the Hydras immediately. I don't think the Ravager Bile really did anything at all, but the Hydralisk absolutely dismantled the interceptors. Now, if you're a Protoss player and watching this video, you're probably going to say that the carrier is garbage now, but that's not actually true. It's just the case that you have to actually build other units in carriers now if you want to win a fight against Hydras, which I think is a fair thing to do. The carrier, I think, is still going to get a lot of use, but it does feel good that we can now actually kill the carrier without having to go out of our way and neuraling all the carriers or stuff like that. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this short video.